Hello, I'm Oliver Colling, and this is the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. Hello, and welcome back to the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. We are a quiz based on the My 70s TV Childhood podcast, which celebrates what it was like to grow up as a child in 1970s Britain, and the important part that TV played in our lives back then. If this is your first time listening, then welcome. And of course, welcome back to all of our regular listeners. First up this week, a few apologies from me. Firstly, this edition of the quiz is going out a week later than expected. Thanks to Sid, Claire, Nick, Brian and many others for getting in touch to see if all was well at My 70s TV Childhood Towers. I have to say, everything is fine with me, thank you. But the last few weeks have been very busy, for me personally, and especially with my work. And something unexpected came up, which meant that I didn't get to record this edition in time to go out last week. Yes, it may surprise some of you to know that I don't get rich and famous from making the podcast. Well, famous maybe. So sometimes the day job gets in the way. Normal service is now resumed, so hopefully no more confusion ahead. And the other apology I have to make is I did get a couple of answers wrong on the last quiz, as pointed out by many of you who got in touch to tell me. For some inexplicable reason, I said that Roy Briggs provided the voice of Mr. Ben instead of the legendary Ray Brooks. What makes this worse is that I did pick up the mistake whilst editing and recorded over the error, but said Roy Briggs again. Now, perhaps I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to have what I believe are called senior moments. Anyway, the other mistake I made was that Mr. Baxter from Grange Hill was known as Bullet Baxter, rather than Bully, as I said. Simon very kindly pointed out in an email that perhaps, being from the north, I don't really understand southern accents, particularly those of the Grange Hill cast. Well, thank you, Simon. That's a very kind thought, but really, I just did get it wrong. So, on to this time's quiz. As usual, we have 4 rounds of 5 questions each. It's all for fun, but do take it as serious as you like. I know some of you play with family and friends, so good luck against your nearest and dearest. Okay, let's begin with round 1. And this is a round called Don't Panic, and all the questions are about the much-loved sitcom Steptoe and Son. No, not really. Dad's Army. Question 1. Who wrote Dad's Army? So which writers wrote Dad's Army? Question 2. The theme tune, Who Do You Think You Are Kidding Mr. Hitler, was specially written for the show. And sung by who? So who sang the theme to Dad's Army? Question 3. What was Private Frazer's day job? Question 4. Colin Bean, the actor, played one of the supporting members of the platoon. Which one? So what was the name of the member of the platoon that Colin Bean played? And question 5. Who was the last of the principal cast members of the show to die in February 2024? How do you do with that? Quite a nice gentle start this week, I hope. And on to round 2, which is our marathon or Fil Rouge round, so named in honour of the repeating rounds in It's a Knockout, or Je Sans Frontières as it became on its summer holidays. All of the questions are to do with subjects we've covered in our podcast over the last 4 years. Okay, question 1. In our recent episode on Timeslip, we look back to the classic 1970 science fiction series. But what were the names of the 2 teenagers who were travelling in time in Timeslip? Question 2. Our April 2023 episode on CD sitcoms mentioned Steptoe and Son. But where was their scrapyard? So what was the address of Steptoe and Son's scrapyard? Question 3. We have more on sitcoms in June 2021. We talked about Bless This House. And Sid Abbott was played by Sid James in Bless This House, and he was married to Jean. who was it who played Jean Abbott? So which actress played Jean Abbott? Question 4. In our April 2021 episode, God Save the Queen, we look back to the Queen's Silver Jubilee. What month of what year were the official Jubilee celebrations? So not when it actually occurred, but when were the national celebrations for the Queen's Silver Jubilee? And question 5. Are You Being Served featured in an episode in November 2020. On which floor of Grace Brothers would you find perfumery, stationery and leather goods? All right, halfway through already. So next we're on to our most popular round, or so you tell me in your messages, and this is the round where we use our specially constructed Wheel of Fate to choose a year from the 1970s, which I then feed into our state-of-the-art AI theme tune generator, which then spits out a number of theme tunes from TV shows that, well, for this week, ended in the year chosen. Sounds confusing? You bet it is, but let's have a go. Right, let's spin the wheel. This is so exciting. I genuinely don't know where it's going to land. And we've landed on 1975. Okay, let's feed that into our AI-powered theme tune generator and see what we get. Okay, and remember these are shows which finished in 1975. Theme tune 1 for starters. Hopefully you got that one, and you should have a good chance with theme tune 2 as well. And how about this one for theme tune 3?
Hi-ho, Vic, hi-ho. Let's go, Vikings, let's go. Hi-ho, Vic, hi-ho, hi-ho. Hi-ho, Vic, Vikings, let's go. Here's our brave Viking crew, all so strong and so true. There's a world to be won with adventure and fun. Hi-ho, Vic, hi-ho, hi-ho. Hi-ho, Vic, Vikings, let's go. Let's explore across the sea. Ship mates happy and free. If bad guys come, never fear.
And theme tune 4?
My old man, can you tell us what you're after, my old man? My old man, is it tears or is it laughter, my old man? Come on, Sam, are you for us or against us, my old man? Listen, Sam, sometimes you say you can't, but Sam, you can.
And finally, here's a slightly trickier one. And we're on to our last round already. And this is our TV Times round, where anything 70s TV trivia related goes. Question 1. Which long-running sitcom began in 1973 featuring Bill Owen, Peter Sallis and Michael Bates? Question 2. Which year saw the first edition of the Paul Daniels Magic Show shown on BBC One? Question 3. The UK's Eurovision entry of 1977 finished next to last and was sung by Lindsay DePaul and Mike Moran. What was the name of the song? Question 4. Who was the host of the blooper show It'll Be Alright on the Night? So who was the host of It'll Be Alright on the Night? And question 5. Who played Donut in Here Come the Double Deckers? And that's the last of our questions, so on to our last bonus question. In our last quiz, I asked you about this. John Inman, better known as Mr. Humphreys in Are You Being Served, also starred in a sitcom as a character called Neville Sutcliffe. What was the show called? And the show was called Odd Man Out. So well done if you got that right. This week's bonus question is very straightforward. Which actor played the man from Atlantis? So which actor played the man from Atlantis? If you know the answer, then you can email it to me, quiz@my70stvchildhood.com. You can also get in touch with that email address on anything you like. You can also leave comments via our blog at www.my70stvchildhood.com or via one of our many social media sites. Okay. Let's move on to this week's answers. Round 1, don't panic. Who wrote Dad's Army? And the scriptwriters were Jimmy Perry and David Croft. Question 2. The theme tune Who Do You Think You're Kidding, Mr. Hitler? Who sang it? And that was sung by Bud Flanagan. And just as an incidental, it's one of these things that many people swear they knew it from the war, but it was actually specially written by Jimmy Perry and David Croft for Dad's Army. Question 3. What was Private Frazer's day job? He was an undertaker. Question 4. Colin Bean played one of the supporting members of the platoon. Which one? And he played Private Sponge. And question 5, who was the last of the principal cast members of the show to die in February 2024? And that was Ian Lavender, Private Pike. Round 2, our marathon Fil Rouge round. In Timeslip, what were the names of the 2 teenagers travelling in time? And they were Simon Randall and Liz Skinner. Question 2, where was Steptoe and Son scrapyard? That was in Oil Drum Lane. Question 3. Who played Jean Abbott in Bless This House? And that was Diana Coupland. And question 4. In what month of what year was the official celebration for the Queen's Silver Jubilee? And that was June 1977. The Jubilee itself, the anniversary was in February, but the official celebrations were in June 1977. And question 5. On which floor of Grace Brothers would you find perfumery, stationery and leather goods? Well, it's ground floor perfumery, stationery and leather goods. And let's go on to our Name That Tune round. First one, I hope you all got, that was Upstairs, Downstairs. The second one was Captain Pugwash. Again, I'd be disappointed if many of you got that wrong. And question 3, a bit of a giveaway because it was mentioned in the song. This is Vicky the Viking. And question 4, this is quite an interesting one. Again mentioned in the song, but did you recognise the show? This was the theme tune to a show called My Old Man. It was a sitcom that ran for 2 seasons starring Clive Dunn, who, in the same way as he wasn't an old man in Dad's Army, wasn't an old man in this one either. And number 5, that was the theme tune to Don't Drink the Water, the On the Buses spin-off, making fun of foreigners set in Spain. All right, on to our last round, TV Times, Which long-running sitcom began in 1973 featuring Bill Owen, Peter Sallis and Michael Bates? That was Last of the Summer Wine. Question 2. Which year saw the first edition of the Paul Daniels Magic Show? And that was 1979. Question 3. The UK's Eurovision entry in 1977 finished next to last, sung by Lindsay DePaul and Mike Moran. What was it called? It was Rock Bottom. Oh, where are we? Rock Bottom. Tragedy. We got 'em, etc. And question 4. Who was the host of the blooper show It'll Be Alright on the Night? That was Dennis Norden. And finally, who played Donut in Here Come the Double Deckers? And that was Douglas Simmons, who played Donut. So, how did you do? Are you cracking open the vintage champagne? Or are you drowning your sorrows with a large plastic bottle of supermarket own brand strong cider? Whichever, I do hope you've enjoyed playing our quiz. We will be back next week with the next edition of our regular podcast, and then again in a fortnight with our special quiz, where all the questions have been sourced from listeners. So that's in a fortnight. Until then, take care. Don't forget to like, rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And most importantly, to join us again soon for more from My 70s TV Childhood and the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz.